What up, everyone? It's Sunny here from the Sunny Channel. Shout out to everyone who entered our Sentinel giveaway. Of course, there can only be one winner, so let's take a look at that Sentinel again. So congratulations to
Robo from the FWOOSH
for winning. Be sure you have someone at home to sign for the package when it comes in. Should have been straight from Hasbro. Once again, shout out to the winner. And always subscribe, like, and comment on the channel, and we'll see y'all next time.
No, honey, I didn't spend the money. I won it from Sunny, I swear. Okay, people, welcome back to another Foosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and let's jump right into the comment of the weekly. The anime hero says, can we get a segment called Robo Does Know? Why? Because it's so random and rare that I actually know what I'm talking about. Oh no, there's no reason to stick a label on that because it is blatantly obvious when I kind of know what I'm talking about because it goes on for too long and I actually stick to the subject. When Robo don't know, I glean just enough to get by. When Robo does know, I run it into the ground. It's a balance, give and take, but at the end of the day, it's still just talking about toys. That's my favorite thing in the world. Speaking of, kicking things off, Good Smile Company is adding to their wacky and weird super articulated Figma line with the human anatomical model. Much like their table museum line where they take famous works of art or statues and turns them into actual toys you can mess around with and pose, I never knew I needed this in action figure form, but it makes total sense. It's visually interesting, it hides articulation well, and it serves multiple purposes. Learning tool, drawing reference, cursed soul flayed of his skin, forever doomed to walk the earth and to be shunned by humanity, all while searching for revenge on the person that killed him in the first place. That seems very generic. Maybe off today. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder how many of these parts can be swapped over to the Figma Deadpool for some healing factor action. About $60, scheduled for April 2022. Jazwares is going to stop making Fortnite figures when Hasbro pries it from their cold, dead fingers. Okay, it's not quite that dramatic, but every time we think, well, that's it, license is changing, it's going over to Hasbro. Oh, well, no, there's another one. Smith's over in the UK has posted a product page for Dark Sentinel, which is mostly reused from the first Sentinel we got, which makes sense that it's just another skin in the game, but they did change up the head, they changed out the feet. Another interesting tidbit in the description for the page for Dark Sentinel, it mentions Black Knight is coming, so yeah, I say this every time we get a new Fortnite figure, Jazwares just going down swinging. Now, where is Dark Sentinel going to be available for the rest of the world? The last ones were at Walmart, the ones before were at Target, then there was Amazon. It seems they hit just a certain place, and they hang on tight. I think we had seen teases of this, or, since I don't know Mortal Kombat, I may be thinking of the previous version of Reptile that is from a later game, but either way, Storm Collectibles went full pre-order this week for their Mortal Kombat Reptile. More classic inspired, more what I remember, and it's also labeled Mortal Kombat. No numbers behind it, so it's about as classic as you can get. And yes, another ninja. We won't get into the whole, oh, you gotta have a lot of reviews in a line like this in order to get new characters out at a later date. I went into it anyway, but that's the gist of it. On top of that, some people just like collecting different variations of ninja, you know? You got your greens and you got your yellows and your reds and your purples and blue. Isn't blue the most popular one, or at least the most well-known? But at least Storm Collectibles throws in unique items to make them more individual, you know? Like Reptile's reptile head, the tongue, acid spit, and his force ball effect. This actually makes my eyes kind of jiggle. You know what I mean? You stare at it, and I know they shopped out the stand. It's not actually floating, but the more you look at it, it gives me a little itch back here. $75 estimated release of later this year. Every time Four Horsemen Studios is brought up, I say the same thing. With Mythic Legions, I can't keep up. There's so much stuff out there, so much stuff I have missed, and I don't know when it's a reissue or when there's reuse. If you're into that line, it's awesome. And I look at it and think, oh, that's like a cool dwarf or orc or giant. I can't do it. But you get out of the medieval realm and shoot it up into space, kind of a cosmic level environment, surroundings, and you're getting closer to my, my butter sandwiches. They have announced that next Friday there will be either more information, pre-orders go up, something for their Cosmic Legions line. Just looking at this Beastie Beast, I'm already getting ideas. I can use this for, you know, an Imperial prisoner alien that is so monstrous you think he's a bad guy, but then he helps out the heroes. That's a bit generic too. But like I said, all shall be revealed next Friday. And, yeah, you big four-armed monster, you may be coming home. Yes, I have seen the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse leaks this week, but we're going to stick with what was actually shown because that's still coming at a steady pace, and I like pictures. I see a list and it just one ear and out the other, done. I want to see the pretty plastic. Early in the week, 2 DC Multiverse Lex Luthors were solicited. One blueberry, the other sour apple. The green power suit definitely gives off classic vibes. I mean, this is the power suit I'm used to seeing with the disco collar, the spaceman shoulder pads, but then it's ramped up in usual Todd fashion with extra sculpted details all over the body. There is a method to the madness because it looks like all those sculpted details are more accurate for the other version, which is the blue Darkseid War Lex. I'm figuring this came first, and then they said, hey, let's appease the classic crowd too, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm surprised at how different the 2 figures actually look with just a head swap, changing out the chest armor, and then the color schemes. And that reuse probably helped the budget enough to where they could throw in the throne with the blue Lex too, which is amazing. Look at that thing. I kind of want it just for the Dio piece. But then flip over to the green armor and it comes with alternate hands that seem a little bit more proportionate for the figure itself. Then McFarlane revealed the Target exclusive gold label, and I know I got some comments on this last week that gold label's Walmart, right? But it seems to be overflowing into Target now. But anyway, the Target exclusive Year 2 Batman. Went through a video showing off the cape and the cape options and the arms, but then it went up for pre-order on Target today. In order to pay homage to his artwork, the flowing cape had to be a plastic shell that'll make even early spawns blush. You even have to remove the arms to get this look. But there's the option to put the arms back in and a cloth cape. You want more of a classic McFarlane statue type Batman? Ba-boom! You want to swap some parts and get a new articulated style Batman? Boom! Boot tops are kind of weird just being flat like that, but I don't know. Maybe this Batman's being used for another Batman. There's also a cool stand, or well, I guess a Dio piece with a gravestone. It's almost as elaborate as the cape itself, but all of that pushes the price up to $50. And then finally, if you're into Batman consciousness driven, sentient monster truck Batmobile top things, oh, Todd's got you covered.
Here, I don't know where you can buy it or what's the price. We'll get to that later. I just want to show you the biggest ass toy we've ever made in 30 years. Look at how big that goddamn thing is, right?
Him being this excited about it is just pure joy. It makes me more excited about it. Like he said, no word on when or where or how you can buy this. It's just, it's coming in the future. At one point it seemed that Usagi Yojimbo was on the table for one of the various Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles lines, and then he wasn't. Then he was. Then he wasn't. I don't know licensing. It seems that there's a cartoon coming of some kind, so it was pulled back. This week, NECA said, nuh-uh. Here's a digital sculpt of Usagi. He's coming to one of our TMNT lines. Now, we don't know if it's coming to the cartoon line, comic book line, both. All we know is that the tweet mentions both. So hopefully we get a couple of different styles because it's specifically for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We'll take them any and every way possible. Bring it on. F is for friends who buy toys together. U is for Ultimates! Let's be honest, was anybody expecting Spongebob Squarepants in Ultimates line? When Super 7 posted this tease early in the week, my brain wanted to put it in the reaction realm. I don't know why. Smaller size, smaller character. But turns out it is Ultimates. Gary is actually an accessory for Spongebob himself, who also comes with, let's see, I'm gonna go down the list. There's a jellyfish and a net and several sets of hands, glasses, alternate bubble blowing face, head, body. What's the anatomy of a sponge? But bubble blowing equipment also means bubble buddy. That odd character shape doesn't lend itself to articulation. Top of the boot, hips? Are those hips on a sponge? Top of the leg, balls at the shoulders, maybe something else hidden, but that's about it. I'm guessing Patrick presents his own set of problems in that department, so That may be why they veered off and did Sandy for the second figure in this wave. Looks like she has toe, top of boot, hip, shoulder, elbow, wrist, and somewhere in the neck. But it's the accessories that make it, like the jetpack, the cowboy hat, the lasso, the karate gloves. The angry head is completely appropriate. I recognize that from a mile away, but I can't place the goldfish head. These are the only two figures in the first assortment. Maybe it's difficult to translate these designs into 3D articulated form, or maybe they're just taking it slow, testing the waters, see what happens. Either way, $55 due out fall of 2022. I had to read the description for Hasbro's Ghostbusters Plasma Series Mini Puffs 3 times before I got an idea of scale into my thick skull. Looking at the pictures, especially the pictures of the figures in the package, I was imagining a Grogu situation where it's a smaller box that looks like the bigger boxes with smaller figures inside. That's how that works. Smaller figures, smaller boxes. On top of that, Plasma Series makes me think 1/12 scale, or well, considering the figures, 1/12-ish scale. But then I realized Marvel Legends works for the prop stuff. Same with Star Wars Black Series, so why not have a 1/1 scale mini puffed in the Plasma Series? Kind of a prop, right? Each figure is actually 3.5 inches tall. They call it movie scale, and it says the same size as the paranormal mini puffs portrayed in the movie Ghostbusters Afterlife. 1/1 scale. That's all y'all had to say, 1/1 scale. Seems the movie and the company and Hasbro is banking on this being the next Mandalorian child or Baby Groot, Gizmo, something to make you go, oh, I need some of those. $27, which is another sticking point in my head when I was thinking these were tiny. Why are they so expensive? But if this is a regular box with 3.5 figures with alternate heads inside, that seems more appropriate. Well, okay, not appropriate, but more of the standard Hasbro price at this point. Estimated for next February, but they make sure to point out it could be earlier, could be later, with everything going on right now. Who knows? Speaking of The Mandalorian, it was only a matter of time before Bandai hit us with another movie realization Mando. We see this in this line with its samurai aesthetic. It reuses parts here and there, give you different versions. And with Mandalorian, the show is set up to do that. You start with one armor, change it a lot, change it a bit, change it a bit more. So when it comes to the toys, you buy this one, then it's changed a bit, consume, consume, consume. But if a company can get more mileage out of a mold, I don't see the problem, especially when it does change things up a bit. This time around, they did include Grogu, who is kind of nudged into this realm of design, and oh, weren't we just talking about the mini puffs? Oh, no. I mean, Baby Yoda is already cute, but you add the top knot, more elaborate robe, lean harder into the Lone Wolf and Cub parallels, and oh, you know what's even better? The pram translated into a period stroller, which isn't that much of a stretch, but look at this picture. With the cuteness of Grogu, along with the wholesomeness of this stance on Mando, all you're missing is like a sweater and a playground in the background. That doesn't mean Den can't get down and dirty, because it also includes sword, pistol, rifle, you know, for when he needs those things. No pre-orders or price yet, but they say that it releases next January. Man, it's good to be talking about Figuarts again. Well, at least when it comes to Marvel and Star Wars. It seems like it's been a little bit. Saw some Star Wars last week. This week, Bandai swings through. I get it. Pretty clever. They swing through with 3 new Spider-Man figures from No Way Home. Well, mostly new. Okay. 2/3 new, maybe? I can't say for certain, though, what exactly is reuse and what is new on the upgrade suit. It does seem to have brighter colors from the first release. The eyes are white instead of silver. Or was there another version after that original version that changed that color? Spider-Mans. Can't keep up with them, but I do notice that the belt has been resculpted at least. It comes down to a point, like in the No Way Home trailer. In Far From Home, it didn't come to a point. Meanwhile, the integrated suit is growing on me. Just the mix of different looks from Iron Spider and the first Spider-Man costume. A little bit of here, a little bit of there. Even better compared to the usual SH Figuarts prices of $60, $70, $80. This will run you $32. I've seen them do this with Goku in the Dragon Ball line, where it's kind of an entry-level figure. It comes with a little less stuff, but at a cheaper price. If you're not in imports, you're more tempted to spend $30 just to give it a try. A little gateway SH Figuarts. Hey, you like imports? Here, give this a try. Did you like that? Here's a little more, and a little more, and a little more, and then suddenly you're paying $100 a figure, and you can't just get out of it. Or maybe Bandai thinks this suit is ugly, so they're just getting it out there to give you some options, but they want to get rid of them fast. If you want this unmasked Peter Parker head that is featured in the integrated photo shoot, it is not included with this figure. That actually comes with the black and gold release, and even there, they make sure to point out, hey, this only comes with the first production run of these. Kind of ramps up that exclusivity. Like, oh, I better jump on this to get the head to go over here or over here. And apparently it comes with both necks, because you can also see the red suit at the bottom of the integrated one, and then black and gold for that costume. But getting a better look at this black and gold costume here, there's a lot more going on than I first realized. Did I miss that fancy mystic forearm doodad on the left side on other figures of this look? What's the techie runes in random spots in between the webs? I know it's just another change to sell more product. Again, change, consume, consume, consume. But I don't hate it. All three Spider-Mans come with standard Bandai web effects, either long shooting, short shooting, or swinging, but then Upgrade and Gold and Black has option eye parts for different mask looks. Then Black and Gold comes with some nifty magic effects for the chest and the whatever the doohickey is here. Web sorcery? I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I guess we'll see in a few months. But I do need to see it and find out what the hell's going on. The upgrade suit is about $50, releases in December, but as far as I can tell, it's sold out at a lot of places. I don't know if that's because it's a more classic look or it was more limited than the other two. The integrated suit, like I said, is around $30, also releases in December, and then the black and gold is a little over $50, releases in January. Let's change things up and finish it off with Mezco. Yes, Mezco, because they tap directly into my formative years by finally soliciting their 1/12 collective Crow. I say finally, I think they showed this figure earlier this year, if not a couple of months ago. But for me, I've been waiting for this figure for 30 years. This is the only movie that I've seen more than 3 times in the theater. I think I went 5 times. I didn't see any of the Star Wars movies that many times, and I'm talking about in the theater. I've seen the Star Wars movies way more than that, but actually going, paying the tickets, sitting surrounded by people. None of the Marvel movies, it was The Crow. Hey, I was just out of high school trying to find my way in the world. Small town, very small town. In fact, where I am in Arkansas isn't exactly known for its nightlife, so it was go to the movies or hang out in parking lots. And for this movie, I kept going to the movies. So when Mezco put this up for pre-order this week, I clicked. I didn't even look through the pictures first. I knew I wanted it. Click. And yeah, looking at the faces and the paints and stuff, they went for that usual Mezco. You recognize the character from that movie, but it's not quite dead on. It's not a perfect likeness. They seem to do that with all live action stuff. But I'm still pronouncing this the best Eric Draven figure we've ever gotten, and we haven't even gotten this yet. 4 different facial expressions, 10 hands, including take your shot, fun boy, you got me dead bang. A Zippo for T-Bird, a sword for Skank, a knife for 1010, and then a weather vane for Top Dollar. Then there's more Crow-centric things like the mask, the ring necklace, guitar, gravestone. The flame crow effect does seem kind of small when compared to the movie, but it's something I never thought I'd get, and shelf space being what it is, I don't need something that's huge. This'll work. The crow itself is in 2 different positions depending on if you want to put it on the gravestone or on the stand, and then there's Gabriel. I do worry about the elbow range, which is a pretty standard worry when it comes to Mezco figures this size, but the look of the faces, how the hair is different from head to head, the clothing and how it lays, the options, it far outweighs that. I'll still gripe about it if that's a thing when we get them in hand, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. We all know Mezco's schedule, so when it comes to that, I usually like to pre-order these and then forget about them. Get the shipping notice, and it's like, hey, I get toys, but this is going to be hard to get out of my brain. $100 scheduled for March to May somewhere, and I'm just throwing this out, Mezco, but March is my birthday. And that's all for this week, I think. I doubt it. If I missed anything, you know the drill. We'll be around next week, talk about it. If you're interested in any of these pictures up close without me all consume, consume. I'll be posting all of that, plus links to pre-orders and more information on the Foosh front page Saturday at noon. But if you can't wait that long, all the links are in the description. And did you hear the news? Oh, Hasbro Star Wars Black Series is having a Fan First Wednesday next week. Our ploy worked, boys. If you talk shit about them, they will come. And I actually found new Black Series figures this week. This is all I found. I'm still on the hunt down after you, rest of the wave, because oh, I gotta have Aura, I gotta have Dick, and Casca. I need Casca for the shelf. So I'm hoping it's not all about the Rancor and then some pipeline reveals or something. I want to see plastic. I want to see a skin. Hey, this is coming out later this year, and here's this and this and this. We'll see. But if you enjoyed this weekly, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Foosh. And going all the way back to the first, I got shipping notice on my HasLab Sentinel, but it's just sitting in Georgia. What's going on? I know, shipping being what it is right now, having a shipping notice, having the label created is better than nothing. But it is saying next Thursday. Maybe we'll pull that out for the next weekly and, you know, he can co-host or something.